At this time, we'll call to order the regular City Council meeting for February 14th, 2022. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lisa, let the roll call show everyone is present. And we'll move on to the approval of minutes, January 24th, 2022. Councilmember Kivel, go ahead.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the approval of the minutes? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Approval of the bills. Councilmember Kennedy.
I'll move the bills.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on the bills? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Approval of tonight's agenda.
I'll move the agenda.
Councilmember Dill, go ahead.
I'll move the agenda.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Tonight's consent agenda is a resignation from Wayne Chubb for the Planning Commission. Thank you, Wayne, for your commitment. Councilmember Kurtzwell, go ahead.
Thank you. I move the consent agenda as presented by the mayor.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. At this time, we will open the floor for public comment. Please remember to state your name and address, and please remember our 2-minute time limit.
Good evening, Council. Ryan Lair, 716 Grand Court. I wasn't at your last council meeting, but I did have a chance to review the meeting, and I was very disheartened to hear the comments by our city manager during his manager's report. I don't understand why we have a rogue city council member that is calling our DPW superintendent in 0 below weather because you're not getting an update. I didn't contact anyone regarding the updates that I put on my page. Everybody knows the ambassador's page is South Lyon News, Weather, Police, and Fire. The police department have joined. Fire department has joined. As soon as they posted the information on the break, I immediately posted it on the page. Several residents contacted me, asked me for updates. I gave them updates as much as I had, told them knew exactly what I didn't know and what I did know, and I updated them. I didn't call the DPW and say, why aren't you updating me? I didn't call Chief Sovic and say, why aren't you updating me? No, I was patient. I waited. There was no issue with our water pressure at the time, and several residents did report that they had brown water. I told them to wait it out and wait in the morning, and if it didn't get better, I gave them the number for the water department, and I told them to ask for Mary Ann, and she would advise you on what to do. They contacted me 2 hours later and said it finally cleared up. Thank you very much for your help. I don't understand why we cannot have professionalism in the city. It totally undermines our personnel that work in this city. And I want to thank Doug Varney for his excellent job in repairing this city every day. If it wasn't for Doug Varney and his team, we wouldn't have South Lyon. If it wasn't for Sovic and his team, we would not have a police department. If we would not, same goes to the fire department. May I finish?
Yep, go ahead and finish your thought.
The personnel in this city make up South Lyon. You endangered those people. They were in freezing 0-degree temperatures trying to fix a water main break. And in my opinion, the next time we have a water main break, I think all the DPW should stay home. I think we should send that council member out there and have them fix the water main break, and then one of us call and berate you for not updating us. And you won't feel, then you'll feel what that person felt. it just gives you an idea. And I think it's important that we stand behind our city manager 120%. And thank you, Paul, for everything that you do for this city 7 days a week. It's amazing. Thank you.
Do we have anyone else for public comment tonight? All right, thank you. I'm going to welcome up Larry Ledbetter this evening to speak with us. Larry has reached out and asked for a little bit of extra time tonight, and we are going to...
Okay, thank you. Hello, I'm Larry Ledbetter. I'm the president of the Historical Commission. And in 1975, the depot was spared from demolition by mayors John Knoll and policeman Don Fletcher, and many others, I'm sure. It was moved and restored in 1976 through the efforts of Mayor Andy Rakovich and Clerk Gail Smolars, the City Council, and I am sure many more civic leaders. In 1981, the first Depot Day weekend celebration included a parade, a big community event. This year marks our 41st Depot Day. We're planning now to have a day of family fun. Model trains, butter making, bubbles, pony rides, touch-a-truck, the fire engine, police car, front loader provided by the DPW, tractors, hula hoops, sack races, music, beekeepers, balloons, and of course, tours of the village. All this is planned for September 10th, 2022 from 10 to 4 p.m. My first exposure to the village was in 1982 when I was a young supervisor at Michigan Seamless, and my boss said to me, Larry, you're going to move that caboose from the tube mill over to the village. I am. I was really quite worried about it, but I had some really good help. Wally Duncan, Amos Neely, and others that helped me get it done. And it's there now, and I'm very proud to, every time I get to show the kids it, I really enjoy it. All through the year, we tried to provide interesting programs to the community, such as Native American history, railroads, Route 66, tube mill, World War II, and others. Our mission is to preserve and make available the history and artifacts of the museum to the community. My biggest thrill is sharing with the young people about the days of old when there was no television, no refrigerators in your home. We had ice boxes, listening to the Lone Ranger on the radio, playing kick the can in the alley, telephone booths, no cell phones, no internet, no video games. What did we do? We of the Historical Society have a dream about adding a barn and a house to the village. We have been talking about it for years. Linda Ross, the Historical Society president, right there in the blue, she has prepared a list of the different times we've talked about it, and I've provided that to you there at your podium, at your tables. A barn would allow us to display the relics from the South Lyon when it was a farming community. At one time, South Lyon was called the horse capital of Michigan. I heard that when I first moved out here in 1976. And so we are really hoping to get that done. And Paul Zelenek has encouraged us to put a plan together. We've been talking about this for must be 20 years. We've gone back and just can't believe that we've let so much time slip by, and we really want to get going with it this year. So we did form a barn committee, and some of the people are here with me to support me, and we have visited several barns and houses, interviewed restorers, asked for quotes, marked off our site preferences. Bob Pulaski, this gentleman right here, has prepared a really nice presentation that at some later date we'd like to present to you about the project. It gives everything into great detail. I won't go into a lot of detail right now. He will soon be asking to make that presentation. The barn is just south of 8 Mile Road, west on Pontiac Trail, just a little bit. It's the Roper family home. Okay, our hope is to start this project this year and proceed with the restoration to have a dedication in 2023, a significant date indeed, the 150th year of the Village of South Lyon. And it's our sesquicentennial. Hey, I did that. That was a tough one. Pete Najeski had a Zoom call with Erica Wilson, Paul Zelenak, and Mark Russell, during which we asked for a modification to the proposed parking area that's going to be on the west part of the village. The driveway runs right through our house, and we hope that moving the driveway will allow us to succeed to have the house and barn in that curvature, which would be perfect with the church and the school and the gazebo. So it'd be in the right curve. We have been very fortunate that our closest neighbor, the First United Methodist Church, has allowed us to use their baseball field to park for special events, which they did last Depot Day for us. They're very, very good to us. Much the same way, well, they do the same thing at U of M at the big house, and they use Pioneer High School for the big games. So they park on the golf course in the big house. So it doesn't hurt. We didn't do too much damage to this, I walked that next day, I walked out there and the grass was pushed down, but didn't hurt it. So we did pretty good. Now finally, I like this television show. It's called Under the Radar, Michigan. And Tom Dowden is just so much fun to watch, and he's hysterical. He does the goofiest things. He's a clown. He's like Soupy Sales in a lot of ways. He's just a goofy guy, but he's so much fun. He goes all over Michigan and finds these great places to go to. So I've invited him to come to our historic village for Depot Day, or any time he wants to come, to tour the village, and I can get him a tour of the tube mill too, and the South Lyon Hotel, the Christmas House, the Corner Social, Lucas Coney, Lake Street Tavern, Grand Trunk, Pumpkin Fest, Memorial Day, Diane's Dollhouse. I mean, that's a great place to go too. There are so many interesting places in our town, and I'm just hoping he will come, because I can just see this. It'd be a great show. I love his show because he gets all over the place, and he finds these really great places to go and eat and find these great experiences. And we've got it. We've got it right here in this town. So I want to thank you for your time. Okay.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Great job. You'll close public comment and move on to the discussion of downtown. With Nate Mack.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So last week the DDA board met, and during the meeting we went over a number of things. But first I'll talk about the farmer's market manager position. So I offered a contract to the individual we thought was best suited for the position. However, they declined to accept the contract. So kind of back at square one with the market manager position. To kind of expand the reach that we have for the job posting, thinking about doing the ZipRecruiter ad like we did before, and then I've reached out to some different farmers market organizations in the state as well, which include the Farmers Market Coalition, Michigan Farmers Market Association, MSU Extension, to see if we can kind of cast a broader net to try and get somebody to fill the position. I've reached out to a couple of different vendors as well to see if they have anybody in mind that they'd feel could be a good fit for the market. The board meeting, we also discussed the first draft of the DDA's budget for the upcoming fiscal year. In that budget, the board voted to increase the farmers market vendor fees for the season. Those haven't been increased in a number of years, so those will be going from $15 to $25 for a daily vendor and $292 to $325 for seasonal vendors. Additionally, Main Street, Oakland County will finally be coming for the assessment of the Main Street program. That's going to be next Tuesday, February 22nd. After that assessment, they'll provide me with some feedback on how we can improve the DDA as an organization and hopefully move up to the highest select level in the Main Street program. And then they'll probably want to come and present a certificate at a later council meeting. So you can look for that at an upcoming council meeting. The South Lyon Carnival event on March 5th from 4 to 7, that's progressing well. We kind of got the finalized sponsorships for the event last week, so we got the flyer out at the end of last week, Friday, I think it was posted. So we're looking forward to that. We've got the tarot card readers, street performers, food trucks, different businesses setting up. We've got 5 downtown bars and restaurants that are participating that will be offering specials during the event. So I'm excited for the event. It should be a good event and kind of, break things up a little bit in the winter months. With that, that's it for me tonight. Thanks.
Councilmember Dill, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wondered on the carnival, which is I'm very excited about. Is there the street performers? You said the streets aren't going to be closed down, so where will they be?
So we're thinking of putting them either in the farmers market lot or the Liberty Street parking lot across the street from there.
Okay, and will the food trucks be in the farmers market parking lot?
Either there or it'll be the Liberty Street lot for the food trucks.
Okay.
So we're going to put them. Yep.
Awesome. And I just wanted to say I feel for you on the marketing manager. I've offered jobs before and then had the people pull out. So
Yeah.
I appreciate your hard work on that. And if it gets to the point where we're doing it, I'll definitely help you again this
Okay.
year.
Thanks.
Councilmember Kurtzwell, go ahead.
Yes, I had 2 questions. First of all, on the farmer's market, was the issue related to money or just the fit?
Yeah, it was related to money. Yep.
How much are we talking about?
Pretty substantial difference in what we were able to offer from the DDA's budget perspective to what they were hoping to get.
And were they getting that money at a prior position being
Yes, they were.
was the fit really good?
It was pretty good, yeah.
Okay. And the other question is, I saw in one of your reports something about you had contacted the DIA. Yes. Have you been in communication with the Cultural Arts Society on that?
No, I haven't. Could talk with them. They said to reach out to them to try and, because they do murals around Oakland and Wayne County, and I wanted to reach out to get on their, docket or whatever, as a community that's interested in it. And so...
Yeah, because I don't know what the cultural arts budget looks like, but I know that they assisted tremendously the mural over for Grand Trunk. Yeah. So if that is the purpose of the contact is to, locate, I don't know if you're looking for mural artists, or I don't know if you're looking for designers, I don't know if you're looking for grants, but clearly the Cultural Arts Commission has had a role. Yeah. And you define whatever that role is, but we should probably keep the communications open so the right hand knows what the left hand's doing. Because they did the inside-outside program several years ago.
Yep, I can reach out to them.
Yeah, just a thought.
Yep, thanks.
Just a thought. Thank you.
Councilmember Kivel, go ahead.
Have you ever talked to any of the people that do the farmers market thing that have taken on the role in, say, the leader in Northville or something? They do theirs on Wednesday, and so Saturday might end up being something where they could entertain doing it in South Lyon. I'm just thinking of somebody that's familiar with the art of what's going on. Yeah. If they're local, relatively local, maybe there'd be more interest in taking on a role in another community that's local. Yeah, I have not reached out to other managers of other farmers markets. I was hoping to get somebody local, but I can definitely look into that and see if that's another option.
Anyone else have anything for Nate tonight? All right, thanks, Nate.
Thanks.
Move on to the fire chief report. Deputy Chief Weir.
Council. Just a couple items for you tonight. In the last week, Engine 2 received scheduled new brakes for that apparatus. So that got completed, no issues there. On Saturday, we had a motor vehicle crash downtown at Harvard and Pontiac Trail that resulted in a vehicle fire, so that did cause some delays for traffic in the afternoon. But that was handled with no injuries. So kudos to the crew on that. And I recently found out that I was awarded a grant for a 4-hour training session on interaction with special needs patients for medicals. So we have that slated to take place in April for first responders, and if we don't fill it with our entire department, then I'm going to open it up to the police department and surrounding departments to attend. So that'll be for 20 students.
That's great.
That's all I have for you.
Councilmember Kennedy, go ahead.
Any update at all on the ladder truck yet, Mike?
It still has not started the cab chassis section yet. I just actually spoke with Mark Brown, our salesman from CSI today. They're still working on getting that scheduled. Obviously, COVID's got a delay in material, so that's really, we're just waiting for our spot in line to open up.
Okay, and no real concern yet or anything?
No, they're still anticipating we'll take delivery by the end of the year, so.
Super, okay, thank you.
Councilmember Kurtzwell, go ahead.
Deputy Chief, I wanted to thank you for taking the initiative to apply for that grant with respect to training for individuals and children with special needs. I mean, that is critical when it comes to first responders. And I think we have seen from the pandemic, particularly in those areas that were heavily hit, that those individuals with special needs were hit even harder, and most of them, some of them, didn't even make it because of their inability to communicate what was wrong and the inability of the first responder to interpret the signs of the individual, because not all of them can speak, and sometimes you have to be able to read other languages, body languages, and things that are far more important. So for you to take this step, I think speaks highly of this community and how we respect life, no matter what form it comes in, no matter what shape, whether they are disabled or whether they are whatever else. But thank you for taking that initiative. Thank you.
Thank you for saying that.
Anyone else? Oh, Councilmember Kivel, go ahead.
Just a quick one. Is there a lot of sheet metal work on the rig?
Yeah, there's a ton that they'll end up doing, yeah.
Yeah.
They custom build the cabin chassis, so.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Anyone else have anything? I just want to thank Deputy Chief Weir and the staff over at the FD and your patience in keeping the boat afloat over there while we search for a new fire chief. So thank you.
Happy to do it. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. We'll move on to the police chief report and Chief Sovic.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Really proud to introduce our newest cadet, Ashley Tokarski.
Hello.
She kind of comes to us with a little bit more experience than what we normally see in our normal cadet applicants. Her cadet interview was one of the best that I've actually ever been a part of, and I've interviewed many people. Actually, a lot of her ability to think and the way that she handled herself in I guess some of the tough questions was better than most police officer applicant interviews that we've seen over the years. So she was slated to attend the Michigan State Police Academy years ago. Her and her husband chose to invest in her husband's future at the time, and so now that things are settled and the family is here, she is time to pursue her goals. So far, she's been a pretty good fit for all of us. She's able to read the room. She knows when to talk and when to listen. So far, we like what we see out of her. She is planning on attending the police academy in July of this year, and her ultimate goal is to be a police officer with the city of South Lyon. So, Cadet Ashley Tokarski.
That's great. Welcome to the team.
Everybody, thank you.
Councilmember Kurtzwell, go ahead. Chief, if you weren't done yet, we can come back. Go ahead.
I would say normally she would go up there and introduce herself. She has talked to a couple of you, I think, during the last the delivery of the council packets, but normally she'd come up and shake her hands because of what's going on. That's why today. I apologize. Councilman Kurtzwell. Go ahead.
Chief, you know we've had this discussion before, so I'm not saying anything that I haven't said before. Out of all the police officers that we have one female police officer. And probably half of our population in our city is female. So it would be nice to increase that ratio just a little bit and get, not because you're a woman, but to hire you because you're qualified. It would be nice. It would be nice. So we'll just keep our radar on you. Hope that you do well when you go to school. Succeed, because we want that kind of success in our community.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Councilmember Kivel, go ahead.
If you're the one delivering the packets for the next meeting, you don't have to go to my front door. You can just pull into the driveway and stick it at the back door.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
I'll take note. Thank you.
Anyone else have anything? Councilmember Kennedy, go ahead.
Chief, how long does it take to get through the academy's training? Basically, what would the timing be when Cadet Ashley would be available?
Usually it's about 16 to 20 weeks. So she'll be starting in July, so when I leave, the timing might be right for her.
She's going to start at the top, or is that what you're saying?
We'll
Just a little clarification.
We'll keep an eye on the evaluator over the next couple of months.
Okay, thanks.
Quick learn.
All right. Thanks, Chief. Welcome to the team.
Oh,
I got a couple
he's coming.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Just to give you an update on the generator, we were hoping it would be in on February 8th. It has not arrived yet. There is a shipment coming to Generac next week. We don't know whether or not one of those is ours. We were told today that if you were to order a Generac generator now, you'd be looking at 14 months out. So hopefully within the next week, we should be getting ours soon. So, and other than that, while we continue working on our budget, tweaking a couple of things, but for the most part, Patricia has most of our numbers, and looking forward to the budget workshop in a couple of months. And I'll take any questions you may have.
Councilmember Kennedy, go ahead.
Just want to thank you and the South Lyon Police Department for your heroic efforts there and reuniting the little dog with their owner this morning.
Facebook.
I know the owner, I guess, was from out of town, and he or she was probably delighted to have their little puppy back there.
Visiting from Arizona.
Thanks again. Appreciate you looking out for the four-legged residents as well as the two-legged ones.
Definitely.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nice to meet everybody.
Yep, take care.
We have no unfinished business this evening, so we'll move on to new business number 1, City Council Chamber upgrades.
Mr. Mayor, the city and the representatives of the Cable Commission and the South Lyon Community Schools have been researching methods to upgrade the recording and broadcast equipment in the city council chambers for over a year. Rich Perry and South Lyon School IT Department have been working with an identified supplier who supplies video system equipment on the needs and solutions to prepare this information and quote. The city's portion of the project, 50% of the cost, is $16,164.30. We've attached information from Rich and Steve describing the proposed improvements and cost information on the specific components of the equipment to be installed. Tonight's possible courses of action are approve or not approve the installation of the video system equipment or upgrade it, paying 50% of the cost of the improvements of $16,164.30 to Tel Systems. And this comes out of an account, please note the corrections, it's 101-200-969-300. Rich and Steve are here tonight to discuss the equipment and answer any questions that you may have regarding the installation and time frame.
Hey, Rich, we appreciate you being here tonight, and Steve as well. What's that?
Does this work?
I believe so.
If needed, I can pop off a PowerPoint, which describes a little more. So, do you want me to go through a PowerPoint, or do you want to just do a Q&A?
Probably the Q&A, I think it'd be fine. I know they have all the information based upon your description regarding the upgrade and what the additional features are.
I just have one correction. We've been working on this for a lot more than a year.
Yeah, that's right, that's true.
Yes.
This goes back to Murphy days.
Yeah, I
right?
said over a year, that's all I know.
Yeah, yep, that's it, that covers it. So, yeah, happy to answer any questions about the system that's being proposed.
Councilmember Kennedy, go ahead.
Is there any kind of automatic functionality to this, the new equipment that's coming in, Rich, or will it always have to be, manned by an individual back there to actually operate it during a meeting like this?
Yeah, there is no, you always have to have an operator.
Okay.
And just to add to that, the operator will do basically, will do the following things. With these 4 cameras, you need to pan, tilt, zoom,